working with quantum fields, that we are all in this grid of information, if we want it or not, we are. So each and every thought and feeling and action is extremely important, something to touch and to work and really have it between your hands. So it's all about intention as usual.
Welcome, Bianca. So Bianca is our German Quantum Touch liaison, and she's instructor of all of our courses, which is really exciting. And today we are going to talk all about our pendants. So I have this one, and you could probably tell me more about which one I have too.
Yes. Well, I personally prefer to work with those of the golden or silver ones, because I find the energy is really stronger, but that might be very personal. So I use these really more like wonderful jewel and things like that, but my working pendants are golden and silver plated.
So when did you first hear about Quantum Touch?
2004, I think. The book was just out in German, and Amazon was very new, and they had this wonderful thing about recommendation. If you were interested in this and this book, you might be interested in this book as well. And they were very right. So I jumped on Quantum Touch book from Richard Gordon, and I must say, at that time, I was already educated and trained by many disciplines and masters, and I had an 8-year-long training with a Qigong master and another 8-year-long training with a Tibetan Rinpoche, so a master. So that was the Asian way of dealing with the life force energy. Is very close to me and very natural. So when I was reading the first, I don't know, 40, 50 pages of the book Quantum Touch, I of course tried all the breathing techniques, and I was amazed. Such a wonderful healing technique came out, which was so simple. So yes, dealing with life force energy, many old traditions do it anyway, but they do it as part of a huge training, meditation training and things like that. But this was so spot on, and I found it very easy. And the next day in my practice, the first patient I asked, can I try something on you? I read something, things like that. And it worked out fine, and she was amazed, and there was a jump start really for everything. Just wonderful. And also for the combination of the other healing techniques I do. So just amazing. I fell in love with Quantum Touch. I really did. Absolutely.
Very cool. So you've been using Quantum Touch this whole time, and then you went through the requirements to become an instructor.
Instructor, yeah. First of all, in Germany, we didn't have any instructor at all. And I was instructed by Richard Gordon through the videos. So at that time, you could take the videos, you could have a group, and you work with the group and do exactly what the video is saying and do all the breaks and all the trainings and things like that. So I did this, I think, 10 times with groups. And then the first German teacher came to teach it. She came from America. And I was not amazed at all, because I had all the time these wonderful instructions from Richard, and I was so disappointed. And she was not right on target, and she was not concentrated. Someone else treated her while the group was doing the work, and I was really angry. And out of this anger and disappointment, I said, okay, I become a teacher of Quantum Touch, because it can't be that this wonderful technique is ruined like that. I was really angry. So I went very fast becoming an instructor and so on and so on.
So now let's fast forward all the way to the pendants.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell us how they started.
Yes. maybe I start with myself, how it started for me. That was really interesting. Also the timing, because I had broken my femur, so my leg, the upper part of the leg. And I had just an operation, and I had 3 weeks of rehabilitation, which was very fine, very professional. And I just came home, and then I saw the parcel from Richard and telling me this is new, and would you please try it and give us your feedback and things like that. And I had a problem in the leg because some muscles were just twitching and doing their own thing, and the professionals couldn't do anything for me. They didn't really know why that happened, or happens still. So I just took the pen and I thought it's looking very nice and cute. I liked it, and I just put it right on the fresh scar. And I was more than surprised how strong it was. So strong from the energy, and I didn't do anything. I just placed it on there. So I kept it there maybe for 20 minutes, and all this terrible pain attacks and cramps and things like that just stopped. And I did it another 2 times, I think the following 2 days, and then it stopped forever. So that was my first experience, really. And Richard was just writing his book, The Secret of Matter. So I think it was not yet launched. And that he described some of his experience and experiments and things like that. So, and from then on, yes, I had lots of wonderful, surprising experiences. Distant healings, a lot of working with projects for other people, small groups, huge groups. And at that time I gave already many different seminars. So I had a lot of groups which I could invite. Okay, let's do it. Let's work with it. Do you want to buy it? I give you first of all, some tips. And the other thing is just we make our experiences. And we had tasks. I told them, this is the task of the week. Tell me what is going on with you and things like that. And because the results were so amazing, first of all, in the German-speaking community, I told Quantum Touch that I want to write articles about it, and I want to create a Pendant Club International. And that was really international. I don't remember really, it was more than 30 countries, 30 countries. And yes, and they had questions and answer sessions with me. And I collected a lot of case histories, most interesting, not only with human beings, also with animals and with plants and with projects and with dealing with the future, dealing with the past, what we do in general with Quantum Touch anyway. But what is now very special, and this is, I'm really grateful at this point as well for Richard's idea or motivation behind it, that he's really like collecting all those people all over the world since 20 years or more who are applying Quantum Touch and who have received Quantum Touch, and really encouraging everyone, please go in this Quantum Touch field and feed it with your most beautiful intentions, ideas, results, healing, whatever, thoughts and imaginations and things like that. And this is what I really learned from the pendant. It's very easy to work with the field, to dive really deep into the field, and even to talk to the pendant, to give it some tasks to fulfill. And I also wanted the pendant to teach me. So sometimes I have questions, or I have patients who have so many complaints. I'm not sure where I should really start, or where I should absolutely have my focus first of all. And then I relax totally, and I talk to my pendant, which has become very, very quickly my close friend. It's really like a partner. And I relax totally. And the important inner attitude for that is, I don't know anything. It's beginner's mind, as we do in Zen meditation or so. I don't know anything. So I know the diagnosis or the complaints, whatever it is, but then I go totally back. I don't know anything. Take me to where it's really important. I'm just a conduit. I'm not doing anything. I'm a witness. I'm a learning witness. I really always want to learn. I want to be taught. And then miracles are happening. And for me, they are palpable. I sense them so strongly. Many others as well, because I know from when we work as groups with the pendant, it's enormous. This little tiny thing.
Beautiful. And as you were talking, I was just holding my pendant and I could feel that, which is exciting.
Yes.
And so when people come to you and they're like, what's a pendant? What do you say?
Well, first of all, it's a quantum touch pendant, because there are millions of pendants, all different kinds of them. This is a knowing pendant. It's a knowing quantum field, and then it's specialized in quantum touch. And it's always evolving. So people ask me, for example, many often men wrote me, I'm not the one who's feeling anything. Please tell me what do I have to do? And I say, well, that's very simple. Place the pendant where it hurts, first of all. And then place the pendant where you feel in your body. It's the best way to feel anything at all. Sometimes it may be solar plexus, sometimes it's the heart, sometimes it's in the hand, whatever. And then it's good to refrain from anything, no expectations, no anything at all. Just, it's first of all, it's like trust. Just trust that it is doing something. Because I have collected so many cases, I tell them I have so and so many cases, and just trust and don't interfere. It's first of all, unless you are an energy worker, an experienced energy worker anyway, it is, let's say, it's an open source. Don't expect anything, but let it do its thing. Especially when you have pain or something where you can really sense, okay, is it better now, or does it do any realigning of my spine or whatever it is. So I give it back to them and tell them, you are on the way to take the proofs. It's not on me. I can only tell you how I experience it and how I use it and things like that. And that way the stress is left behind. And then, very important, I ask them, please also listen to your thoughts, feel your emotions, and very important, how do you feel any change in the atmosphere, in the inner atmosphere, and maybe also in the outer atmosphere? Because of course it's sending and receiving the whole time. So it's a radio station. So when people, this is not maybe normal now, more woman thing, when they have it on their body, it's nice, and many people look at it and, where do you have it from, what is it, and things like that. Okay, that's first of all how it looks like, but then it's sending energy. And when you are like in a coffee restaurant or something like that, you can feel that the energy around you is radiating. So people start to smile, they start to relax. It's for me, it's a pendant which is sending a very friendly energy, just friendly. Things like that, yes.
That's beautiful. Now I want to get a gold one.
Okay.
They look really pretty.
Yeah, they both look. I always have one silver and one gold, and they are my, yeah, my.
Yeah.
It's also nice to wear them. I mean, especially when they're new, they are so shiny and wonderful.
Yeah.
They're just eye catchers.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
So can you tell us how it started? How did Richard Gordon come up with this idea?
Well, he started with this very important question: how can I inform matter, and which kind of matter? And then he tried a lot of things. Of course, he was already very, very good in sending energy very fast. And then one of, I guess, the most popular experiments he made, he just took very ordinary coins. He informed them with quantum touch healing energy. And he tossed them like in a hotel and asked the people around, or I think it was a group of women, are you ready for an experiment? And then he took one of the coins. He first of all, he had normal coins, nothing to do with it or with him. And then the informed coins, and this information is taking place within some seconds. So it's just instant. And he placed the normal coin on the occipital ridge. Before that, as usual, he was measuring out and things like that. So there were alignments, which is quite normal, really. And nothing happened. And then he took the informed coin and placed it on the occipital ridge. Very, very tough word. Okay. First and second cervical vertebra, and then it was aligned. And then so they might have thought he's the super healer and things like that. And then he called a friend and said, now you do it with another person, let's do it again, the measurement and things like that, and you take the coin and just touch occipital ridge, and then we measure again. So it worked for them as well. And then it went on, and then he tried a lot of things. How can I inform for lots and lots of people, like no ending? Can I work like that with groups? Can I inform it all the time? So whenever at that time, I think it was not very clear how it will look like. So it went on and on until it was finished, also with this beautiful outlook design.
That's so cool. Yeah. And then, so what happens with the pendant as more and more people are using it?
Yes, it's very vivid. So the energy is never ending and it doesn't cease at all. It's because we are working with quantum fields. It's all the time learning. It's all the time moving, changing, adopting, supercharging, really. That is why it's so important that everyone who is into the pendants and who wants the best of all for whole earth and humanity and things like that are very aware, finally, that we are all in this grid of information. If we want it or not, we are. So each and every thought and feeling and action is extremely important, because it's going right into this subconscious of the whole humanity. So knowing this, and now you have something to touch and to work and really have it between your hands, it of course makes a huge difference. And because it's fed by so many quantum touch healers, trainers, patients, lucky people who have these wonderful results, who have experienced them themselves. It's very, it's how can I say, it's an own being, really. It's an own very, very lively being. And
Yeah,
most,
I was feeling that just as I'm kind of holding it and playing with it and you're saying it. And I'm like, yeah, it really does connect everyone together. And it
yes,
gives something physical to hold. It's very
yes,
grounding, right? Especially when we're
absolutely,
working in this quantum field, when it's all in our head, it's
yes,
really nice to have something to hold, that
very,
tangible
absolutely.
aspect.
Absolutely. And if you do it every day, work with it, you
Mm-hmm.
will notice that every day it is different. It's
Mm-hmm.
really, really different. So that's again something very amazing and noticeable, really. So
Yeah.
I feel it sometimes there are days when it's uh, very much into power. It's so strong within the first minutes. It's powering. It's really, really power, power, power. And then there are other days where it's absolutely fine and subtle energy.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are days when this loving kindness is all around the pendant and wherever it's going. So many, many myriads of possibilities. And I think it has to do with the grid and how many people are into it right now or
Mm-hmm.
for the last whatever months or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about intention as usual, as
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah.
Intention, motivation, concentrated energy. What do you want? What do you want for the other person? Keep it very simple and
Mm-hmm.
just let the energy do its way, because there's always the divine order and it's always on, it's never off. So it's just, this is an instrument where it's like a bridge, really, as quantum touch as usual, as in our breathing techniques and things like that. It's a wonderful bridge, and even those who don't know anything about quantum touch do feel something, can
Mm-hmm.
work with it, and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
the easiest way is really just place it where it hurts or where it's needed. No
Yeah.
big deal, no big deal.
Yeah. Well, and that makes it easy to experience the energy.
Yes.
Lovely fly wants to be a part of our conversation.
Yes.
Uh, all right. So say somebody got their pendant in the mail and they now have it. Do they have to attune to it, or how do you start using it?
Yes. Well, I have a special way to to deal with the pendant. So officially, it's not really talked about. Do something very special with your pendant because it's yours now. And for me, yes, it does make a huge difference.
Mm.
So I also tell the people, when you get it, then take time for your pendant. First of all,
Mm.
take time. Don't treat it like anything you have on your table or something like that. Take it between your hands and just feel.
Mhm.
Go in the sensation mode without expecting anything. Just feel, 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 because when you concentrate on the pendant, which is full of information and life force and things like that, this pendant is always open for you.
Mm.
So it's now your turn to be open for your pendant. And then you can do it with your intention to say, okay, you are now mine. So really, let's connect, let's align. The alignment can be, it depends on the person who is doing it. It can be very visual. It can be like overlapping. You are becoming more and more one if you want to, because you always have your free will. So I'm an intentional aligner. I love it. To align and then experience and things like that. Most of the times when the people unpack the pendant, they are very surprised how strong it is from the beginning, because they didn't expect it at all. So yeah, and then you make it your personal one. And then for me it is, I'm growing with this pendant since many years now. So it's teamwork. It's teamwork in a small way between your hands, and a much bigger way, a teamwork with all these thousands of people who are using quantum touch all over the world, more than 50 countries. So it's quantum touch. And because I love to work in energy fields, I also concentrate on the quantum touch field, which is of course a special field. And also here, like with a beginner's mind, I want to first of all feel it, sense it. How do you feel now? And most interesting concerning ourselves, when we are dealing now with the pendant, for example, for ourselves, where does the energy go to? And it still surprises me totally. When I had the intention, please go there, I don't know, my tooth is aching or something like that, it goes somewhere else, and then it's building up its energy, and I can feel the work it's going through, all these channels and things like that, all the blockages, and it's just doing its own thing. This little tiny pendant, yeah, it's really amazing. So, and by more and more experience, it's more and more normal that it's really doing its work. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess in that way, it's just, it has the life force energy. Absolutely. And delivers the energy to where it is needed.
Yes. And it's also proof that how much intelligence is behind it. It's beyond our intelligence. I love our thinking mind and our human intelligence, but this is energy intelligence. This is not logical, but it's
So you talked about using it physically on your body.
Yes.
What are some other ways you can use it?
You can use it to talk, for example, to groups, to send informations to a group. Let's say you are engaged in, what can we say? Helping special species of animals, and you are in a group and you say, we are so engaged in the subject and things like that, and you have a meeting, and as usual, when many people are coming together, there are people who are not only different, but also make it maybe a bit difficult, things like that. But you want, because it's an important meeting, you want it to be a really, really good meeting. So you take your pendant between your hands, you align to the energy and the subject and the motivation of the whole group. And you remember that this whole group, whoever is participating, wants the highest good for these animals and species and things like that. So this is an entrainment for your pendant, where to go to and what you want, first of all. So this is like building up the field, the ground. And then you tell the pendant, okay, I want you to harmonize the whole situation, the whole group. I want you to go straight to the highest good of this group and what we wanted to do this time when we're meeting, things like that. So you are straightening out this future. Wonderful. And because the pendant is answering, you can sense maybe also how much work that it has to do until the group is done really fine and constructive and is going forward. So it's always a two-way thing. When you notice there's wow, there's a lot to do, then you can be very proud of yourself that you did it in advance, because otherwise it wouldn't have been such a nice result. And I'm very, very sure you can absolutely, everyone can feel and see the very good results. So the change. And now something other very, very nice to do is you notice that you are not in the very best mood, and your negative thoughts and all kinds of patterns and the past and these idiots and I don't know. And then you stop and say, okay, the next 10 minutes is the time between me and my pendant. And then you catch the pattern. So you're really aware, and you are not interested anymore in the contents of this negative pattern. You're interested as an energy worker in the energy. And energy, you can't erase energy, but you can change it, you can transform. Okay. Maybe I send a little information to this fly to go somewhere.
I know. I keep trying to be like, what does this fly want from me? Clearly it wants my attention.
You can.
I was like, I'll send it some love.
Yeah, but it's very interesting. You can tell it, go there. That's much better. Go there. Just go there. That's beautiful. This corner, this window, this whatever. Yeah, and coming back to the moods or this negative atmosphere, which just came out of nothing, out of yourself, triggered from outside. And then, as we do normally in Quantum Touch, you go back to your body, feel where it is. Where do you feel this? And make it specific and precise. It's not everywhere, no way. And it's also not where your thinking mind think it is, like, yeah, it's in my head or something. No. So where is this negative whatever feeling in your body? And then lay down and place the pendant there, and then be open. And you can always give your pendant a mandate. So tell them, please resolve, transform. And I'm the one who always wants to know, and I tell my pendant, and let me know. Let me know what's going on, or what do I have to do, or give me some hint. Do I have to be aware of this and this thing, or whatever? And very often the answer is very bodily, really. That's, oh, my liver, gallbladder area. Okay, thank you. And then when I have more time, I take another half an hour, and it's only the liver, gallbladder, and me and the pendant. And I let it really work through. Sometimes I fall asleep because it's very strong. And sometimes I'm super awake and aware. And then I see lots of films, and okay, this is not solved, and this is a trigger still, and things like that. Millions of ways to really let it work for you. Let it work for you. It doesn't really need anything from you. Just the permit, the allowance. Please work for me. Please transform.
Yeah. Well, and I love that. And that really just goes back to what you had said earlier. Just take time. Take time to be, and just to get to know your pendant and to feel it, which is really beautiful.
And because when you have it a lot, maybe you wear it, or you have it a lot in your hands, it's becoming a part of you. So when you do it a lot of times, I ask my pendants, how are we doing today? Let me feel. So many things. It's really beautiful. And also I can work a long way, let's say from Germany to New Zealand. I have some reports where people were in my practice that were treated by me, things like that. And I placed nearly the end of the session I placed the pendant on their spine, on special vertebrae or something like that. And then they went home. And then they reported, now it's the 7th day that I feel the pendant on exactly the same vertebra as you placed it, at exactly the same time. And I gave, because I play with it a lot, I gave it the mandate, the next 7 days you do the same thing. And they didn't know, and that was the proof. Okay, it's really palpable.
Wow.
Yes.
That's cool. And you had mentioned about your pendant club.
Yes.
Can you talk a bit about that?
Well, the pendant club was, because right now I'm not doing it anymore. I did it for 5 years. I wrote some articles in the Quantum Touch newsletter and told the people, if you have questions or if you want to say something about the pendant, please write me. I open up now the pendant club. It's for free and things like that. So over the years, there were many, 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 many people. And they could ask very special questions. What do I do? My husband is that and that old, and he has a macular degeneration. What am I doing? And things like that. So it was really very specific concerning their complaints and things like that. And of course, there were many people who wrote wonderful, wonderful results, wrote the whole stories, and also wonderful stories with the animals, also wild animals. I must laugh because here in Germany we don't have really these wild animals, but I was treating toads and squirrels and birds and things like that with a pendant. And sometimes I placed them on the pendant. I put them on the ground, and I placed, for example, the hurt leg of a toad I placed on the pendant, and the toad was there for at least an hour. It did not move at all, not at all. So that was really amazing time. Yes, maybe I felt it was not needed anymore, the pendant club, but maybe it's changing again. I don't know.
Yeah, there might be some interest for the pendant club after this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you have a training on pendants.
Yes. So it's a tutorial. It's available in English and in German.
Yeah.
It's an audio. It has 12 chapters, and it goes through a lot of ways, modalities, how you can really use the pendant. I normally start tutorials with the inside job. So first of all, how can you meditate with your pendant? How can you train it to be really your personal pendant? How can you train yourself to sense the informations which is given to you? How can you give mandates, really tell it what to do? What do you want to know? Things like that. So first of all, lots and lots of inside work, also working with your patterns, your blockages and things like that. And from there, we're going outside. So how do you treat other people? How do you use it when you have someone in person with you? How do you use it in distant healing? How do you use it for groups? How do you use it for traumas, dissolving traumas? And then all the fun parts, like how do you change the atmosphere in a restaurant and many things. And also I tell the pendant often during the day, go there immediately when I hear the siren of an ambulance or police car. When I see someone at the sidewalk and this person can't walk very well or has to carry something very heavy, all these things, I said, help there, go there with your energy. So many things. And of course also treating animals.
Right. So okay, so when you're sending to, say, the sirens that you
Yeah.
hear, I mean, you're not physically going and touching the pendant, you're just doing that with your intention.
Yeah, most of the times I wear the pendant.
Yeah.
But if they don't wear it, no problem, because we are so entrained into each other. It's just imagination.
Yeah.
And then I tell it, go there, go there, go there,
Yeah.
go there. Yes. So you can really send the energy just by imagination. And what I find is very important, this is also close to what Richard is writing in his book. We know it by intellect, but now it's more and more proven all the matter is informed, and all the matter is also like suffering or blocked or things like that. So concerning, for example, an accident, I send the energy, of course, to those hurt people, and all the drivers of the cars itself, the whole place where it was taking place, all the people around, their relatives when it was a really bad accident, everything which was really involved. I want to have it cleared.
Wow.
So also, this is another hint. I also work with words, very straight words like clear now, things like that. Displays now, whatever it is. And this is something for trying out, really. I work with the word, the two words quantum touch. But this you can also do without any pendant. So if you are in a meditating mood, and if you like to go inside and work with energy in form of, you talk to the energy, you want to know something, things like that. It's helping also for your healing sessions. So when we do quantum touch, we are used to do quantum touch for ourselves some minutes before we place our hands on the patients, or we start our healing treatment, healing session. So it does make a difference if you talk to the quantum touch field by its own name. So if you say it if you can say it loud or just in your imagination, quantum touch. And you do it a couple of times. And then for those of us who are more sensitive, they feel it, they see it, however their perception is that this field is really opening up. Why? Because we talk to it. We should really talk to these energy fields, and this is a special energy field. So this is another way to supercharge really your treatments in any way. And sometimes I even take it as the two magic words. I just there's a problem, I need a solution, I need something to change really very, very fast. And then I go down with my breathing, I do a 4-4 breathing, and I try, does it make any difference if I now say in a very centered way, quantum touch? Because for me it does, it's very close to really a divine order, all about energy and things like that. And it does make a difference. And then what you also can do with a pendant, if you like your pendant and the energy and the work it's doing, you can, by your imagination, you can fill up your whole energy, so your whole subtle bodies, with the energy of the pendant. Because you can let it like run around through your auric egg, through all the excess. And this is very good if you want to have, for example, protection, or if you need in an instant a lot of power, things like that. So you can surround yourself with the energy of the pen, and it's a very, very good protector and reinforcer for everything you want. Really, really good.
Yeah. So
Sometimes, yeah, sorry.
no, I was just going to say, so really it's just a tangible way of being aware of the power of our words and the power of the life force energy, right? Because like you said, you don't have to physically touch the ambulance when you hear the sirens. You can just send that with your intentions. And I think that really just speaks to how powerful our thoughts are.
So much so on, and quantum touch, the field of quantum touch, it has developed over these years so much. Also with our different courses and things like that, it's highly intelligent and it's really strong. And I can claim this intelligence and this wisdom and this strength because I'm a human being. So I just have to talk to it and say, okay, I want this now. And everything else is making experience and play with it. The less stressed out you are, the better the results are. And sometimes the results are so hilarious good that you think, okay, I think I don't know anything at all. How is this possible? How does this work?
Yeah. That's exciting.
Yes, it is. But I mean, it's the same attitude that we have in general with quantum touch. So we leave it open, and I don't know the end of this work. So I just let it do its thing. It's pure life force energy. I love very much to address very straightforward life energy. And I tell the students, think the most simplest answer to your problem. What is the closest answer? So you have a problem in your life, let the life itself answer. How? With pure life force energy. It knows. All you have to do is be open and don't think about it and don't be full of opinion and things like that, all these restrictions. And this is also fun stuff. I mean, we have a lot of fun. This is also a lot of humor involved. I tell my pendants sometimes when I feel very stubborn and whatever, very strict and rigid and things like that, take it away. I don't like it anymore. And then I'm very, very surprised again where the energy is going. Sometimes it's going really high up in subtle bodies and doing their work there. And I'm off, I'm gone. And I look at when I wake up again, I fell asleep for 2 hours. Well, it did its work. And of course, energy it's very often like that. Also with life force energy in general, it decides from a higher intelligence, is it better if you sleep so you are not in the way with all your resistance, or is it better that you're aware and that you're really learning in a conscious way, things like that.
Awesome. Well, yes, and you have your beautiful training, and I think that will be available shortly. So then people will be able to access it. And then, so where can people get the Quantum Touch pendants?
Right from Quantum Touch Incorporated.
Yeah. Awesome. So I'll have some links below for the pendants and for Bianca's training.
Okay, very well. The tutorial is what I didn't mention yet. It's 2.5 hours long. It's an MP3 you can download, and it has 12 chapters. So, and each chapter is about 15 minutes or something.
Yeah. Beautiful. Any last words? I'm excited just to use this and play with it. Set some fun intentions.
Yes.
We'll have a fun day. I'm supposed to go meet up with the playgroup with my kids right now.
Okay.
And, so maybe we'll use this and we'll just have a really good time. And maybe our playgroup will surprise us in a way that we didn't expect. And
I would really recommend to also buy one of the metal things, because they're
Yeah, I like the gold one. I think I'll probably get a gold one.
Yes.
And then yeah, I'll wear this and see what happens. We're
Yes.
gonna have a lot of fun on our play group.
Oh, yes. And as I said, it will grow when the more you use it, it will grow in its intention or in strength.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, like I bought it and I've had it for a couple years, but I never really knew how to use it. So I haven't really used it very much. I bring it out every once in a while, but even just holding it as you were talking, I could feel the energy and then just keep setting that intention and that love that I'll get to use it and just the excitement of using it too. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Let's open up the pendant world for the best of all.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Bianca.
Thank you for having me.